All right, today I'm going to show you how to put the motor in Corrosion X to clean it. So first we're going to cut the tape off. Try to cut over the plastic support so that you don't scratch your mast. Don't cut over the wire, don't cut over your mast. You don't need to cut very hard if your razor blade's sharp. Just one slice down will get it, and then you can break it from there and peel it. When you peel it, hang on to the motor wire so that you're not pulling hard on the motor wire from the motor itself. And then you can take all the tape off and throw it in the garbage. We'll put new tape on so we can clean all of that off and get rid of it. All right, and then the plastic piece on the back of the mast will come off. You can set it off to the side. We won't need that for now. Next, you can take off the prop blades. So take the smaller Allen driver, and each blade is held on by one screw. So we back out each one. There's the first blade. You can rotate around and get the second blade out. There's the second blade. The next step, we can take off this prop hub. There are 4mm screws that are used on the prop hub and also on the back plate, which we'll get to later. Total of 4 of them to be removed. And you can hang on to the hub while you break them loose to keep it from rotating. Number 2. We have 2 more to go. Our goal is to get all the plastic parts off the motor before we put it in the bath of Corrosion X. So there's our 4 screws, and now this hub will come off. We can set it off to the side. Now we just have to release the motor from the clamp. So there are 3 screws. Mine currently only has 2, 1 on each side, and then yours will also have 1 on the top to remove. So we're backing out that side. I'm doing the same thing on the other side, and then like I said, your last one will be the top one if you have the 3rd screw, the newer clamp. All right, so now the wire's clear, the screws are out, the motor's ready to come off. If you pull too hard, you'll just pull the bell off, which is this outer magnetic piece. So you want to grab kind of near the base and try to wiggle a bit. And as you do it, it'll slowly come out, and you'll get the whole motor instead of just the bell. So now the whole motor is out. This is our last piece to remove, the motor back plate. It uses the same 4mm screws that were on the prop hub, and there are 4 of them to remove. They also are the same length, so if you get them mixed up with the prop hub, it doesn't matter, they're the exact same screws. Number 3 and 1 more to go. All right, then the prop back plate or the motor back plate we can set off to the side. I'm gonna move the mast just so you can see in the video here. So then what we do is you wanna make sure the motor's dried off. And you can see I'm running the old bearings that actually rust. So make sure the motor's not super wet, or you'll get a lot of water beads in your Corrosion X. So it's best to try to keep it dry. So mine's sitting pretty dry at this point. So I'm gonna walk over here. And this is my little bath of Corrosion X. It's getting low on fluid. I need to order some more. But anyway, take the whole motor, wire and all, and put it down in the Corrosion X. There's no need to disassemble the motor, let the whole thing soak in there. And then because mine is low on fluid, I'm gonna rotate it around so that it covers the entire motor. So I'm gonna spin my motor a little bit and literally get the entire motor submerged in the Corrosion X. It doesn't matter how long you leave it. If you wanna walk away for 10 or 15 minutes, that's perfectly fine, you can. It won't hurt anything. The Corrosion X, because it's petroleum based, eventually eats away at the heat shrink, and it'll also eat away at the plastic parts. That's why we strip them off the off the motor. So once I feel like I have it totally submerged, like I said, yours will be a good bit higher, just soak the whole thing in. I then make a little hanging rack to dry it. So mine is a safety wire because I want all the Corrosion X to actually leave the motor and drip back in the container. I just need the coating. I don't actually need it flooded with Corrosion X. So I wrap this safety wire a few times around the motor and then lock it off. And then I line up my bucket with it and I let it drip dry. And I'll leave it like this for about a half hour or so to get as much back as I can into the container. And you can see mine's beating up a little bit, and that's just because it has a little bit of water contamination in it. So after it does all this, you can take a paper towel and clean it off really well, and then put it all back together doing the reverse order of what we just did to disassemble. So it'll be motor back plate on, prop hub on, you can put it back in, put your 3 screws in the mast clamp, and you'll be good to go again. All right, thank you.